I'm involved in, I'm always gonna give it 100%.
Right.
So people are entitled to judge me for what they hearsay,
Okay.
making assumptions. Just because I never came out and said, "Oh, let me explain," I don't have to explain it to nobody. Only
All that money.
It took been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like with the lifestyle, that money's gone. Trust me. Now it's like you call him, he'll be at your local hosting in a nightclub because you need.
Floyd Mayweather has stepped forward to shut down the swirling rumors surrounding his money situation. During a sit-down with Shannon Sharpe, the boxing legend opened up about his growing real estate portfolio and made one thing crystal clear. He is nowhere near financial trouble. He laid it all out on the table, so here is everything you need to know.
need no money because at the end of the day, I was smart. I made smart investments.
Right.
So I make millions every month for the rest of my life because I made smart investments. But the thing is this, if I still get, the twos and fews. When they want me to make an appearance, I pick up, if I'm here and I'm just sitting in my room, they say, "Floyd, come down to the club and pick up 30 or 40,000. Yeah, absolutely. Go pick up a quick bag, that's some gas money for my jet. Why not?
If owning 2 private jets, holding 100 buildings, and living life completely on your own terms is what people consider going broke, then I guess everyone should be lining up for bankruptcy. That was Mayweather's response, delivered with the kind of cool, unshakable confidence that has defined his entire career. And his approach to building lasting wealth has been anything but passive. Real estate became his weapon of choice and he came out swinging from day one.
36 months with one of my new investments, I would be making $300 million a month.
What investment is that?
In real estate. I'm heavy in real estate. Even though I got a lot of cash, OPM. You don't always have to use your money. That's why it's very important for y'all to make sure y'all keep.
I entered the real estate game. I bypassed the 8-figure level entirely and went straight to 9 figures. I needed bigger returns so I could move around freely with the people I love. His property holdings today cover an enormous range from high-end rental units and commercial retail spaces to affordable housing developments and iconic trophy properties, including the legendary former Versace mansion. But this is not about showing off. A significant portion of these assets are structured to produce reliable monthly income, creating a financial pipeline that runs well beyond anything a boxing ring could offer.
Floyd Mayweather was able to buy a diamond chain, a car, a house, every month from smart investments. Because I try to teach these fighters that becoming rich,
One of his boldest moves recently was a $42 million purchase of 62 residential apartment buildings across Manhattan, a deal that quickly attracted media scrutiny when certain outlets began questioning whether the transaction was even real. Mayweather fired back legally, launching a $100 million defamation lawsuit against Business Insider, the outlet that ran the skeptical story. The publication responded, stating they would fight the lawsuit and stand firmly behind their journalists' reporting. But for Mayweather, this battle goes beyond dollars and cents. My integrity is not something I take lightly. I have spent my entire life earning my reputation. He continued, in nearly 5 decades of living, I have never once taken a media company to court. But I have watched outlets tear apart my name and my family's name for years. I have always been their target. That ends now. Nobody gets to drag my legacy through the mud unchallenged.
I believe in building generational wealth. Even like when my children, all 4 of my children are adults. And I told them, no more handouts. Because I feel like I'm hurting my children just by, I give them money, they go shopping, they put gas in their car, they party, they come back, I need money. I give them money, I buy them houses, I buy them cars. I told them, listen, if you guys go to school.
The heart of all this financial maneuvering is something deeply personal, securing a future for his 4 children, Karen, Iana, Zion, and Jira. Everything I am doing is so my kids can go further than I ever did. That is the real victory. He was careful with his words too. I will not even call this a real estate empire. What it really is generational wealth in the making. Athletes put their bodies through enormous punishment over the years, the joints, the face, all of it. You have to build something that outlasts the sport. I never took a single moment for granted. That philosophy mirrors the same calculated mindset that made him virtually untouchable inside the ring, always thinking several steps ahead.
We got options, options, options. I got about 100 cars. But right here, we like to call this the Sweet 16. Lambo, Ferrari, Ferrari.
Even with everything he has accomplished, Mayweather is not pretending to have all the answers when it comes to property investment. I am still a student of real estate. There is something new to absorb every single day. I actually compare it to boxing because you never stop refining your craft. That humility has proven to be one of his greatest strengths outside the ring. He consistently credits his financial advisory team for guiding him through the complexities of large-scale property deals, and he has been vocal about the fact that assembling the right team around you is every bit as important as your own individual skill set.
If you make 100,000, you have to put 50,000 up. If you make 100 million, you have to put 50 million up. You have to save money for a rainy day.
Put it into something else.
You always have to put half up, always, no matter what you, even if you are just a regular 9-to-5 blue-collar worker, always put half up, and it'll be greater later.
And then what do you do?
What separates Mayweather from the long list of athletes who have watched their fortunes evaporate after retirement is his commitment to hard, tangible assets. By planting his money in real estate, he is constructing a legacy built to outlive the fame. This is not simply about accumulating wealth. It is about engineering a financial structure strong enough to carry his family through multiple generations. He also spoke openly about the role personal discipline has played in keeping his finances on solid ground. While numerous contemporaries have stumbled into financial chaos, Mayweather has stayed locked in and forward-thinking.
Bruh, $300 million a month, that's like $3.6 billion a year. Grant Cardone don't even make $300 million a month. He probably makes that in a year. Mind you, Mayweather's biggest purse was like $100 million, I think, when he was fighting. He is heavy in real estate. He owns 9 or 10 skyscrapers, probably way more. But $300 million a month, my guy, I'm calling cap on that.
That same relentless focus, combined with sharp business intuition, has helped him sidestep the money traps that have swallowed so many other high-earning athletes. His confidence in where he stands financially needs no translation, and his response to doubters is as direct and no-nonsense as his fighting style always was. Whether the arena is a boxing ring or a boardroom negotiation, Mayweather has never backed down from pressure. His transformation from undefeated world champion to full-scale business mogul is proof of what discipline, calculated thinking, and an unbreakable drive can produce over time.
If you're not buying stock in a company, stop arguing and debating about something that you don't own stock in. So my thing is this: what we need to do is buy stock in a certain company or a certain brand, and then talk about it. And then when it go up,
Mayweather does not do things in half measures, and that applies to how he addresses financial rumors too. According to a May 8th report from Realtor.com, he tackled the controversy head-on during an appearance at the Real Deal's New York City Forum on May 7th. Interestingly, this came just 3 days after he gave the world an up-close look at the size of his bank account in a way that only Mayweather could pull off. While visiting a Foot Locker store in his hometown of Grand Rapids, Michigan, he quietly handed journalist Tim Kean a folded piece of paper with his actual account balance written on it. According to Kean, before passing it over, Mayweather scanned the room to ensure no one else was paying attention.
one of the best investments that I did was New York real estate. So it started off with 7 figures, and I was getting a certain amount of money every month. When I first gave them $5 million, I was getting $50,000 a month. So I said, yo, the money kept coming on the 18th every month. 50,000 would come in. I still was competing, I still was fighting, I still was active, and I still was making.
He glanced around carefully before extending a folded slip toward me, cupped discreetly in his right hand, Kean recalled. It was a bank statement. And Floyd watched my expression the entire time as my eyes tried to process what was in front of me. I stared at the row of digits printed across the paper. As the numbers came into focus, the sheer scale of the figure registered. After working through the zeros one by one, Kian confirmed that Mayweather had an astonishing $123 million sitting in a single account. I looked up and Floyd had a huge grin on his face. He started laughing. I said something completely incoherent. I could not even form a proper sentence. I was not sure what triggered this moment, Kian went on. I looked back down one final time just to be certain. And there it was, 11 digits. Over $123 million in Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s bank account.
My lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings, all belong to me.
That kind of effortless display is entirely on brand for Mayweather, a man who has turned his over-the-top persona into a global identity. With an estimated net worth hovering around $500 million, a balance like that is striking but perhaps not shocking for someone with his financial track record. Throughout his career, Mayweather has consistently made bold, aggressive moves from landmark boxing events to high-profit exhibition bouts and large-scale property acquisitions.
In Floyd Mayweather, in this article, it states that he's spending $402 million in real estate investment in a 1,000-unit affordable housing portfolio in Upper Manhattan. The portfolio includes over 60 buildings and is one of the city's largest real estate deals of the year.
Wow. Well, thank you, Floyd Mayweather, for investing into New York.
What truly sets Mayweather apart is not just the number on the bank slip. It is the philosophy driving every decision behind it. For him, money represents influence, independence, and options, not just a luxury lifestyle. This is the same man who, back in 2006, paid $1.75 million out of pocket to break free from his top-ranked contract, a move widely considered a gamble at the time, and then went on to generate over $1 billion in pay-per-view revenue by promoting himself. What seemed like a risky bet is now regarded as one of the most brilliant strategic decisions in the entire history of sports business. So when Mayweather flashes a 9-figure bank statement, it is not simply showing off. It is a testament to an empire built brick by brick through decades of sacrifice, precision, and business acumen. For a man like him, those 11 digits are not just a number. They represent total autonomy. The financial equivalent of a clean, decisive knockout.
Well, I'm back in the real estate news again. This guy's on an acquisition spree like I haven't seen in a long time. You got to remember, in October, he bought a portfolio of multifamily properties in around Manhattan for $402 million. Well, this time he went all in on office property for a $10 billion portfolio. I got this out of Real Deal, by the way. Now, some of these properties that listed are 410 10th Avenue and Hudson Yards. You got Jersey City's Harborside Office Complex. You've got the Aon Center in Chicago and the old office.
While most professional athletes retire hoping to hold on to even a fraction of peak-era earnings, Mayweather is competing on an entirely different level. His real estate moves alone, including the high-profile $42 million Manhattan acquisition, represent just one layer of a much larger wealth-building strategy designed to stretch across generations. For Mayweather, the fight was never only about what happened inside the ropes. It is about making sure his name and his family's financial security remain standing long after the final bell rings. Mayweather has always been a divisive figure, celebrated by many, criticized by just as many others. His empire was built on an unfiltered, take-no-prisoners public image, and his unapologetic relationship with money has always been on full display. But even before he addressed the financial speculation directly, a wave of criticism was already building around him, targeting everything from his lavish lifestyle choices to his political positions.
EWB Rolls Royce. For those that don't know what an EWB is, that's an extended wheelbase Rolls Royce. I need the leg. I know I ain't that tall, about 5'8.5", some days 5'9", but it is what it is. Chilling, sitting right here watching the Thriller in Manila, Ali versus Frazier documentary. Come check it out.
Former world champion Amir Khan recently went on the offensive, accusing Mayweather of cashing in on his vocal support for Israel during an interview with Piers Morgan. Khan was direct and unsparing in his criticism, calling out what he described as reckless wealth flaunting and a deeply questionable position on the Israel-Palestine conflict. It is disappointing. But karma has a way of catching up. Look at the arrogance, throwing money around, showing it off to everyone. You cannot behave that way when there is so much hardship across the world. When we spend money, we are putting it into things that grow. He is just performing for the crowd, trying to make everyone else feel small. Karma always comes back around, Khan said, not mincing a single word.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, limited edition AP, all factory, 1.8 million right here. The $20 bills section. We like to call this the Andrew Jackson section, but I like to call it wallpaper. 200,000 in 20s. I heard in the song you can get the biggest Chanel.
Khan's criticism went further than simply calling out the extravagant lifestyle. He directly alleged that Mayweather had been financially incentivized to take a pro-Israel position, essentially suggesting that his public support was not rooted in genuine conviction but in monetary gain. And then with everything unfolding in Palestine and Gaza, look at his response, Khan pressed. He is fully aligned with Israel, talking about supporting their soldiers. Those soldiers are responsible for civilian deaths. He has lost a massive portion of his fan base over this, but he does not care which side he lands on as long as a check is involved. The financial offer from the Israeli side was absolutely there.